horsey? You wondering what's going on? So today we're up at our friend's farm collecting lots of horse manure from this chappie. And Jude's been collecting seaweed as well this week, and that's so we can really give our compost a kick-start. So Tim and Jude are off using a very high-tech pooper scooper, which you could probably hear in the background. And we're at this beautiful spot, and it's a very cold day to be out, but it's really beautiful. When Jude asked if we wanted to come and collect horse manure, I didn't think that there was going to be a massive horse poo hoover to use. It's pretty cool. Oh, the poo! Look at us already with our spades. Poor Martin's doing it all on his own. Whoop whoop! Into the field because we couldn't get round the corner, and I'm standing well back because it's really under tension. So it's compost day. We spent the last few days harvesting seaweed and horse poo to go into the compost to hopefully make it cook a little hotter. And today Rach and I are emptying the trailer load of our goodies and trying to fill up the compost piles to get them cooking. So I've just come to the barn to pick up some of the other bits that we hope to go on the piles. So since we moved to the farm back in October, we've been holding on to anything and everything that can be composted. Looking forward to kind of this day when it can get a new lease of life.
yummy. Got all that lovely manure and bedding and paper and everything in there. I love a good compost heap. So Jude, you are our compost extraordinaire. So what's going on here?
So these compost beds were one of the first things that we built when we came here to the farm back in October. The compost that we're building is basically like a lasagna. So we're putting in layers of different materials, layers that are 2, 3, 4 inches thick, something like that. And there's layers of old chicken bedding from the chickens just down the lane. There's newspaper in there. There's we're just adding horse manure and seaweed that's been harvested over the last few days, and there's shredded paper from work as well in there. For me, it's another form of recycling stuff, but without having to ship it like halfway across the world to be recycled. We can recycle it here in our own space, which is nice. Also, everything that's in there has kind of come from within maybe a 5-mile radius of here, and so it's not like when we make our own compost, it's not like we're gonna have to import it from miles away either. So all part of trying to keep the carbon footprint down and making the most of what we have available on our doorstep. I guess as well, the other thing to mention is with the compost, there's 2 sides to it. There's the browns and the greens. This compost bed, I think, has too many browns at the bottom of it, which is why we went out and gathered all the seaweed and the horse manure to try and bring a bit more of that green mix back in. Hopefully that will help us heat the bed up, let it do its cooking, and in a few months' time we'll have some compost that is ready to use.
So regarding the horse manure that we're using, which we collected from our friends the other day, we've been reading from Charles Dowding's book about issues that he had with horse manure that had weed killer in it, which he then put on his garden, and then it killed everything in his garden. So we were really careful with where we got our horse manure from, and we got it from a friend nearby who only feeds her own hay to her horses, and she doesn't use any weed killer at all. So you need to just be careful of that you're not using manure that might have weed killer in it.
So we finished building up the 2 beds, this one and the far one. They're stacked full now to the very top, all our layers. I'm just going to put in a thermometer so we can watch to see the compost beds hopefully rise in temperature and get up to cooking. You can see on the temperature, if you have a look, it's got warm, ideal and hot, and so where we really want to get to is between that kind of 40 degrees, 50 degrees, or in that kind of region. So when we started today, the beds were cooking at about 17, 18, 19 degrees, something like that.
Which isn't hot enough.
Isn't quite hot enough, but hopefully by adding these additional greens, we'll be adding additional nitrogen, and we'll get cooking. My guess is it'll take us a few days, maybe a week, but we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens.
Yay! So thanks for watching our latest video all about composting, and remember to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, thanks very much. Bye. Bye.
So here we are back at the compost beds. I've come back this morning just with some food scraps from the kitchen, and also just to check the beds to see how they're going. I'm really excited by what I'm seeing. So when we filled these beds up, we filled them up full right to the very top, and you can already see that they've started to shrink back. They're down to probably 2/3 of the total volume of the bin, but that's a good sign that they're cooking and that it's all processing. But what's really exciting is this. It's -2 here today, and our compost is cooking at 42 degrees. That's a really good sign for us. It's a really good sign that what we're doing is working, and that despite the cold weather and the snow, our compost is still happy.